What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only, Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. Welcome to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate you guys for all of your love and support. Over 1,600 episodes and 500,000 streams worldwide. None of this would be possible without you guys, so I thank you so very, very much. And yes, we are well into spring and summer. I can feel it. It's just around the corner, which means that I know that you guys got a lot of stuff to do with your little ones, all right? With summer on the horizon, and I know a lot of you guys have been spending a lot of more time with the youngins, with the babies. But I definitely wanted to introduce you guys to an amazing and awesome children's author by the name of DJ Hill. Hey, DJ.
Hey, Ash. It's good to be with you.
Aw, thank you so much for joining us, DJ. Appreciate that.
Thank you. I'm really excited.
Not a problem. So, DJ, where in the world are you today?
Where am I physically? Where am I today?
Yeah, where are you?
I am in Santa Fe. Moved here in January, and we were talking about the weather in Georgia, and it's looking like we're going to get quite the thunderstorm, so this could be an interesting afternoon.
Oh, wow. That definitely makes for interesting timing. Interesting weather. All right. Okay, so DJ, to start things off, when did you know that you wanted to be an author and write books?
Oh, when I was a kid, I loved to read. I was always in my room reading or laying under a tree in the yard reading. And I imagined when I was young what it would be like to write a book and have other people read your words and hear your thoughts. And I thought that would be an amazing thing to do. And it's so exciting that it actually happened. I love when dreams come true.
Certainly. So as you were going through and you were growing up and everything, so you always wanted to be a writer. That was just always on your heart. Wow.
Yes, I wrote my first poem at age 12.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So as you're going through school and you're studying and you're figuring out exactly what your voice is going to be on paper and pen and all that good stuff, when did you start to curve your focus onto children's books?
That's a really great question. I wrote the children's book, the text for the children's book, when my kids were young. So we're talking decades ago. And I wrote it as a poem, a long poem to them. They were having trouble sleeping, and we spent a lot of time up at night, so I can relate to your listeners. And I had a lot of dark circles under my eyes, and so I wrote this poem to them, and it was in this teeny tiny little notebook, and I tucked it away. And 2 years ago, I found it, and I showed it to my husband, and he looked at me and said, "Why are you not turning this into a children's book?" And I thought, I never thought of that. It was, it was written specifically for them. But I thought if my kids had that issue, and I now have grandkids, I figured other parents would be able to relate, and it might be helpful to their little ones. So that's where that idea came from.
So as and shout out to your husband for always, husbands don't get enough credit sometimes, DJ. I think that the good ones, especially the good ones that are out there, they help to influence a lot of our listeners and a lot of our people out there to do good things. And having a support system is important. That's a big part.
I fully agree. I fully agree. The poetry book that I published first, which is an adult poetry book, I had all of these poems and had worked on them for 21 years. And same thing. He said, "You've got to put this out there." And so I did. And so I've learned to trust his judgment. He's a pretty smart and supportive guy. So you're right. We need to give kudos to those people in our lives that support us.
Yes. So what was your next step as you got that idea from your husband to create, to make it into a children's book? What was your next focus?
I had just finished we had just published the poetry book. And honestly, I was thinking, I had no idea. It seemed like writing a book was the easy part, right? Marketing and getting out there and being courageous enough to read poems to other people. Right. So I was thinking I was taking a break. And then I started talking with Elisa, my publisher, and said I had this children's manuscript, and we talked about it. And she said, great, but you're going to need an illustrator, and you're going to need a cover. And I thought, I have no idea where to go next. And it turns out, Ash, you're going to love this story, and your listeners as well. I owned a small business, and one day, a beautiful woman, I mean, and when I talk beautiful, just soulful and beautiful inside and out. And she showed up in my business, and I said, you know, what are you doing here? And she said, well, I'm doing a painting party next door. And I said, oh, you're an artist? And she said, yes. And the little wheels started turning. And I said, have you ever thought of doing a children's book? And she said, that's what I've always wanted to illustrate.
Wow.
And so I sent her the teeny tiny pictures, the first one, which was of the little boy in bed. And pretty soon she came back with a sketch, and I said, that's perfect. She started, then I sent her the rest of the manuscript, and she just went with it. She just, you know, she would check in every once in a while, but she just went with it. And the amazing thing was, when she sent it back, the main character looks exactly like my son, my grown-up son, and my grandson. And that blew me away. So I knew we were on the right track.
Yeah, you're onto something. Wow, talk about the stars being aligned. That's amazing.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, I mean, that is absolutely like you and her meeting. That was meant to happen. Like, that was not even like people say, oh, it's a chance, it's a coincidence. No. You tell me, this artist woman that you've never known, you didn't meet her or anything, she comes by, checks out your shop, and she's telling you that she's always wanted to write children's book, and you need an illustrator. Wow, that's
exactly. And there's a quote that goes something like, I wish I had written it down. When you make your wish or your intention known to the universe, it conspires with you. And that was definitely the way that happened. And I couldn't be more grateful for Julie and her talent.
Absolutely. Awesome. Okay, so you meet her. She's doing sketches. You're loving her work. It's coinciding with the book, of course. How long would you estimate that it took from conception of actually creating the illustrations to the first book being printed, the proof book?
I would say 2 to 3 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because you got to have it right.
Exactly. And honestly, Ash, I thought, and I don't know why I thought this, you know, I think the beauty of children's books are their simplicity, but just because the beauty is simplicity doesn't mean it's not complex. Children are very savvy, and they can look at a book and know either I like this, I can relate to this is going to become my favorite book, or not. And it took much longer than I thought, but I'm happy for the time we spent with this book, and we didn't rush any part of the process, and it came out even more beautiful than I thought it would be.
Yeah, that is amazing. I love it. Love it. So last but certainly not least, DJ, what do you want parents to get from this book with their children?
Another great question. Because I had that experience with my kids and my own kids, and now with my grandkids, and really understand, you know, especially with COVID, what's happened with COVID, and so many things in society right now are just kind of bombarding families. I really want to help parents in any way we can to create empathy in their children and empowerment, and do it in small doses. And so we're kind of modeling that and teaching them, in small ways, and then giving them more opportunities to express those things and to put them into action. So by the time they're grown up and they leave home, they've had all of these small moments of learning with their parents or caregivers or aunts and uncles, grandparents, and they can put it into practice, and they have a solid foundation when they go out into the world. And I just want parents to know it was created for kids with all of our love, Julie and my love, and we really want to be of help to parents, which is why not only the book but our new program, Owlets and Company, we really want to help parents navigate the world with their kids and be of help. So empathy empowerment is what we're all about.
I love it. The book is Who's That I Hear? And it's available on all major retailers. DJ, thank you so much for coming through and showing some love and sprinkling some gemstones on the audience today. Definitely appreciate you.
Ash, you're the best. Thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem. And also, DJ, let everyone know how they can reach out to you, other ways of course, getting the book, and to follow you on social media.
Absolutely. The best way to do it, we have just launched a new website called owletsco.com, so owletsco.com. And you can read about our mission. You can check out locations to get the book or online, and stay tuned because we have some really exciting things coming for kids and their parents.
Love that. Love it. Appreciate that. Much more success to you and the whole team, DJ. You guys keep putting out some good vibrations.
Thank you, Ash. We're working on the next one, so we'll be back at you.
Absolutely. I would love it. I would really, really love that. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do. You look them square in the face. You tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.